bells. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to First Unitarian Church in New Bedford. I am Reverend Karen LeBlanc, and I minister to this church as we minister to each other. We are people creating beloved community here at First Unitarian. We believe in practicing and promoting the Unitarian Universalist values of justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity in our congregation, and that those values always spring from the love at the center that guides us all. We are people of purpose in this church. Thanks, Rick. We work to make sure that everyone feels welcome in this meeting house. And if what you hear today resonates with you, well, we hope you'll consider becoming part of this way cool family of seekers and keepers of this very long dream that is our church. First Unitarian recognizes that the land that we inhabit and enjoy sits on the unceded land of the Wampanoag. We give respect to the people of the First Light and their ancestors and honor them in this church. A couple of quick housekeeping announcements. If you're new here and you want some more information about our church, you can sign one of these handy-dandy blue cards, and that will get you our newsletter electronically, so you can keep up on the many, many things going on in this church right now. After the service, we will be having a lovely Beltane celebration, so please join us for that. If you are a member here after the service, please keep your butt right in the seat for just a little while so we can have our budget hearing. Hopefully no one needs to argue about the budget, because Deb's just going to cut a bunch of stuff, and you're just going to have to deal with it if you don't want to listen to the whole budget hearing. So show up for the budget hearing. It really shouldn't take long. Also, week after next on the 18th is the annual meeting, so please, all members, make sure you come to the annual meeting. Next week is our flower communion, so bring your flowers with you next week. And we want to thank the Reagan family for providing these beautiful Beltane flowers today. They are not to walk away from here, though, by the way. The family, this was from a memorial service yesterday, so Lisa Reagan-Durr, we hold her in our hearts today, but these are all going to go to family members, but they were kind enough to say, well, it's Beltane, so why don't you keep them till Monday? So we are thankful for that. All right, I think besides the fact that we want to welcome friends from Brockton, including Reverend Rob Ross, who was our interim minister here for quite some time. We loved having him, and we welcome them this morning. So let's begin by getting up. Oh, sorry about that. Let's get up for a second. Okay, whew. Gonna take a few deep breaths, get ourselves stretched a little bit. If you can, if it's comfortable, breathe in and breathe out. I'm gonna do that just two more times. For visitors, sometimes we do this and scream, but today we've got a lot of joy, so let's do our third and final inhale with push your heart out. Send out that love and light out into the world where it needs to be. Oh, and put your hands on your heart and give some of that love and light to yourself. Oh, doesn't that feel better? All right, now have a seat. It's good to get yourself moving a little bit. We're going to light our chalice, Kaylee. Thank you. Chalice lighting words are from Reverend Scott Taylor. May this flame spark a vision of what might be. May the supposedly real seem less solid. May the inevitable reveal its carefully concealed cracks. It's all made of pieces and parts, friends, each of them longing to be rearranged. Or maybe it's a story, and the pen is in our hand. Our opening words are from Reverend Michelle Collins. Ooh, Michael Collins almost got me. Reverend Michelle Collins. Come, let us gather in this sacred space, where imagination is a soil rich with possibility. Let us plant seeds of wonder, water them with curiosity, and tend them with community. May our minds be open, our hearts awaken, and together may we nurture visions that grow beyond today. Come, let us worship and imagine anew. Now, we're going to sing a song. Mary and I are going to lead it for you. Hang on. Next two times with the lyrics that are a little arcane, but I think you'll get it.
So when she says this is old, it is old.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Summer is a coming in, loudly sing cuckoo, grow with seed and flow with mead, and spring it wood anew. Sing cuckoo, you now bleateth after lamb, loath after calf, the cow. Bullock started buck, now verted Mary, sing cuckoo. Cuckoo, cuckoo, will not sing now cuckoo, nor cease thou never knew. Summer is a-coming in, loudly sing cuckoo. Grow with seed and blow with mead, and spring the wood anew. Sing cuckoo, you now bleateth after lamb, loath after calf, the cow. Bullock started buck, now verted Mary, sing cuckoo. Cuckoo, cuckoo, will not sing the cuckoo, nor cease thou never knew. One more time. Summer is a-coming in, loudly sing cuckoo. Grow with seed and blow with mead, and spring the wood anew. Sing cuckoo, you now bleateth after lamb, loath after calf, the cow. Bullock started buck, now verted Mary, sing cuckoo. Cuckoo, cuckoo, will not sing now cuckoo, nor cease thou never knew. Go ahead, have a seat. When you do that song as a round, it gets really cool because it's just going coo, 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 coo. It's lovely. So, I had to stand and I should have said, please greet the wonderful people next to you and say hello, good morning to each other. And now we're going to read our covenant together, which is printed in your order of service. We come together as a religious community, upholding freedom of conscience, right relationship, and the inherent worth of all people. We value our diversity and pledge to care for one another in the spirit of compassion, to speak and listen to each other with respect, and to promote justice and kindness in the world. Miss Yasmin, you got a story for us this morning?
A Nautilus Book Award winner. It's written by Kobe Yamada, illustrated by Gabriella Baroche. It's called Maybe, but I just want to first give a shout out to, I just went to a Skills USA conference with all of the top winners in the state of Massachusetts in high school vocational technical programs. And I know sometimes a lot of people are like, the kids these days, the younger generation, I want to tell you they're awesome. They are leading us to like the potential that we all want to be. So besides the cell phone nonsense and the kookiness in social media, there's a good core of them out there. And we believe that we're going to support them. So yeah, they'll be your nurse one day. Or they'll be on the engineering team on that airplane built mission or whatever it is. So I'm so proud of them, and I'm so happy to be part of the high school population as a teacher. So maybe, sometimes I always wonder, like, am I gonna be that teacher? Am I gonna win that lotto and get the beach house and the thing? Or is it just, I have to work hard to get it? Do I have that potential? Who am I? Our theme this month is imagination, so this is called Maybe. Have you ever even wondered why you're here? Because you are the only you there will ever be, and you have so much to offer. And maybe you'll invent something that no one has ever seen before. And maybe you'll build things that reach high into the sky. Your life is yours. Try as many things as you can try and see as much as you can see. Wherever you go, take your hopes, pack your dreams, and never forget, because it's in those journeys that discoveries are made. And maybe you'll help others each day to see the beauty. Or maybe you will lift cheering crowds onto their feet. Maybe you're here to shine a light into places that have been dark for too long. And maybe you'll speak up for those who don't have a voice. And maybe you're here to help in ways that only you know. I'm gonna tell you, there are gonna be struggles and fears, and it's not gonna be easy. And at times it feels so hard, and you make a mess of things, and you fall down, and you fail. And it actually really hurts, like you could feel it, it's visceral. But you get back up, and you rise stronger and taller, and there's really more inside of you than you know. And this world needs you, your gifts, and your big ideas. And maybe you're just getting started. And what if you're only scratching the surface of what you can do and who you can be? What if you have talents that you haven't even discovered yet? Because there's something powerful, even magical about you. Each of you right now, here. You already have been doing everything it takes to do big things. And maybe you have no idea just how good you can be, and maybe you don't know how much you matter, but maybe, just maybe, the world's been waiting centuries for someone like you. One thing's for sure, you're here. And because you're here, anything is possible. And that is the end of the story.
Be kind and true, may love be a guide in all we do. Here comes my favorite new kid, Oasis. She's so cute, I sure like your braces. All right. Now is the time in our service where we share with each other our joys, our concerns. If you have something you'd like to share, please come on up and light a candle. I will light the candle and speak clearly into the microphone. Tell us who you are and very briefly what you would like to share. I will start with 2 candles of love for 2 members that we have lost. We had a memorial service here yesterday for Lisa Reagan-Durr. And let me tell you folks, we had about 350 people in this room. I thought I saw it packed last week with Bread and Puppet, but wow, I don't think I've ever seen it quite as packed, and the love in this room yesterday was just phenomenal. And we also lost our dear, beloved sister, Nancy Crosby, this week. 93, she was ready to go, so I'm glad that she went comfortably, and I give my love to her daughters, and we'll keep her and their family, her family in our hearts this week. So I'm gonna light 2 candles to begin with for Nancy and Lisa. Oh, and Everett Hoagland's in hospital and also needs a prayer or 2.
I have a joy. My name is Deb, and for me, spring is joy. My peas are up this tall. The thing to worry about is Ken Hartnett is also in the hospital, doing better, but we're worried about.
Hello, my name is Bethany. My VNS device, which is an electrical device regulating my treatment-resistant bipolar depression, started working 6 months early when they turned it on. And what it did is it adjusted my baseline depression level, and we had to make some medication adjustments because I was going up instead of down, but I was doing this ultra-rapid cycling. It's probably you haven't seen me in about a month because I've been crashing everywhere. But I've stabilized, and now this is a more durable therapy than meds, and we can be looking forward to basically coming up farther and more stable over the long term. So.
Hello, and good morning. I only have joy to spread today. Today's me and my partner's 6th anniversary. Thank you. And you'll be hearing about it more throughout this month, but I'm promoting and marketing a great show here on June 6th with my good friend, Whatever Mike, and I hope you guys can all join. There'll be more info to come.
Hi, my name is Camilla, and I just wanted to share a moment of joy that I had last night seeing Samara Joy, who's a phenomenal jazz singer, won a Grammy. She is just incredible. She's probably about 26 and has just skyrocketed. But the joy that I first thought about was the power of art, music, reading a book, you know, that it takes us into a world that just is so renewing and powerful. And in these times especially, it's so, so important. And then as Yasmin was reading that story, I thought about something Samara said last night. I mean, here she is, you know, just a star in the jazz world. And she said, you know, sometimes I just want to call my mom and say, what am I doing? You know, who am I? And, you know, just that sometimes if we name it, it helps to get through it. So just that notion of being honest and open-hearted. So.
Hi, I'm Sylvia, and I would like to have a candle of concern lit for me. My workplace has been cutting my hours, and I need the money, and I'm basically just tired of working like the 9-to-5 grind in this capitalistic hellscape, and I'm just praying and trying to find another job that is better for my mental well-being, as well as giving me enough income to live comfortably.
Good morning, and I'm Reverend Dr. Ross from the Universalist Unitarian Church in Brockton. I have such very fond memories of time that I spent here in this church community, and in the community of New Bedford. And I am so filled with joy at your flourishing under the great ministry of Karen LeBlanc and Yasmin with all her children. It's wonderful. I am so happy that you are continuing and healthy and filled with people. It makes me very, very happy. Thank you for letting us be here.
Two final candles, as is our practice at UU New Bedford, one for all the joys and the sorrows we keep in our hearts today, and one for all those folks out there that don't have a safe, supportive, and loving environment to share in. lovely, so lovely. And as you guys recall, we don't have Randy here in June. I know, it's devastating. But at the end of this month, for Randy's last performance of the year, we're doing another composer thing, and it's going to be Mozart this year. I heard him practicing this morning. It sounds pretty good. So I encourage you, that's on the 18th, right? The day of our, 2 weeks, on the day of our annual meeting. So come on for that. Now let's do our responsive reading together. It's printed in your order of service for your convenience. I will read the plain type if you will answer with the bold. Imagine we have arrived. We have come to these eagle-nested shores to celebrate with the drums of dancing feet. Out of the violence and the rush of the trains and the drives between, out of the pain in the waiting rooms. We are holding our palms to the sky, awake and amazed. We are listening to the sighs, to the aches of our histories, to the silences pinched beneath the skins. Soft and slow now, turned over and over in our mouths. Let us enter now into the spirit of prayer and meditation. I'm going to read from, as you can see, I got this book when it first came out back in the 19s. It's called a Celtic devotional, and you don't always associate pagans with prayer, but I do. And I have used the crap out of this. Obviously, it's held together with duct tape and glue. So I'm going to read the Beltane Threshold Invocation, as well as the Song of Beltane. So let's just take a breath and center ourselves. Maiden of flowers, open the door. Smith of souls, come you in. Let there be welcome to the growing strength. Let there be welcome to the summer of the year. In bud and blossom you are traveling. In fruit and fragrance you will arrive. May the blessed time of Beltane inflame the soul of all beings, bringing energy and effort to conflagration. From the depths to the heights, from the heights to the depths, in the core of every soul. I am the calm, I am the quickening, I am the intoxication and the force. I am the silence, I am the singer. I am the stallion galloping to its source. I am the bright pavilion and the feasting. I am the wedding couple and the bed. I am the morning chorus and the heartbeat. I am the goal to which all paths are led. Amen, and so may it be. Our second reading this morning is from one of my personal musical gods, Nick Cave. What we think, do, and say is fundamental to the survival of this grand human project. Each of us is precious, and our actions are vital. Everything we do and say matters. We can speak beauty into the world or poison it with our words. We can build things up or tear them down. We can dream of a world that is vast, alive, and interesting, or a reason to be small, hard, and empty. Quote, "We are each an artist," said the poet, priest, and philosopher John O'Donohue. We each possess an imagination. Everyone, whether they like it or not, is involved in the construction of the world, unquote. Every action we take and every word we speak builds or breaks the planet. We must approach the world as collaborators and willing participants in its preservation. Amen, Saint Nick. Now, let's rise as you are willing and able and sing with me, number 212, Dancing Sarah's Circle. And have a seat. All right. Do we have someone to give you a hand? Deb. Oh, Eileen said she would help. Terrific. All right, we're just trying to pull this out so Randy can make it to the piano without running. We don't want to make people run here. All right, now is the time in our service where we ask you for your kind donations toward the many good works of this church. If you have not made a pledge, please do so I can get them to just shut up about it. Make your pledge, get it over with, and we sure do thank you for your kind donations.
creeps in the wood, and it sounded say good to my feeling. Hearing her stirred the dance in my blood, and my fresh maidenhood started reeling. Sweetly it drew me, the sound that went through me, as if sure it knew me, a maiden song laughing long. I'm sure that I hear it, let me draw near it. I want to be merrily courted in spring. Round us the trees formed a wheel in my mind, as if all womankind were careering. Softly he touched me, our hands intertwined, and we gently reclined in the clearing. Sweetly it drew me, the sound that went through me, as if sure it knew me, a maiden song laughing long. I'm sure that I hear it, let me draw near it. I want to be merrily courted in spring.
Thanks, Mary. It's a tune by Gwydion Penderwin, a wonderful pagan singer-songwriter. All right, the theme our congregation is exploring this month is living love through the practice of imagination. And what a lovely theme to work with for Beltane, a May Day celebration. And it's also May the 4th, or Star Wars Day. And because your minister is a pagan Unitarian sci-fi nerd, I imagined that we could weave this all together like a maypole. Beltane is a fire festival, a pagan fire festival that has a very long history, kind of going back to fire. A fire festival in the pagan tradition incorporates the elements of fire, of course, into the ritual, often as a symbol of renewal or purification as each season transitions, also known as the cross-quarter days. So in winter, we celebrate Imbolc. In spring, Beltane. In summer, Lunasa. And at fall, Samhain. In the northern hemisphere, we celebrate Beltane on May 1st, when the trees are in full bloom, as you see right now so beautifully, and the flowers are beginning to pop all over, and the days are finally longer and warmer sometimes. We have already begun imagining our gardens, right? And planting our seeds and all the things that we want to do, that we wanted to do when it got warm enough. And now it's here, and everything around us, everything is drawn to activity, to building, to preparation and creation. It's only natural, folks, right? And the pagans of old, as well as the modern ones, honored the natural world and lived connected to its cycles in order to survive and to thrive. Beltane is an ancient Celtic tradition, mostly practiced in Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and parts of England. And it has lots and lots of old traditions, like Morris dancing, lighting a bonfire and leaping over the bonfire, burning a wicker man, you might have seen that movie, wearing flower crowns, dancing the maypole, of course. And these are all still practiced in myriad ways depending on where you live. Lots of older folks remember learning the maypole dance when they were young kids right here in the US. And Mary and I used to teach maypole dancing, and we would always get older women just delighted that would say, "Oh, I used to do that when I was a kid in school." And I don't know why or when we stopped teaching that in school, but we did. There's also, in large part, of course, this is a fertility ritual, asking for the plants and the animals and the humans to grow and thrive, asking for the seeds we plant mentally, physically, and spiritually to produce something useful. If your kids grew up in a pagan household like mine did, you might have had to answer some uncomfortable questions a little earlier than you usually might have. That's if you wanted to go to the really cool traditional Beltane festivals with the pagans. If even only to explain why, when setting up the maypole, the women labor to dig the hole, while the men seem to have enormous fun planting the pole. And that's a long conversation. We won't even, yeah. So this is the time of imagining the Lord of Light and the Lady of Love, the God of the hunt and the goddess of the awakening world, the green man and the May Queen, the divine masculine and divine feminine, meeting in their fullest expression, their union bringing the land to life and inspiring growth. And this union was not just metaphorical, of course, it was ritualized. Couples would enter the woods on Beltane Eve and make love under the stars, not in secrecy or with shame, but as an offering to the land. Pleasure was part of the spell. Fertility was magic, and desire was sacred. Pagan scholar, one of my old professors at Cherry Hill, said, "To leap the bonfire was to take the flame inside yourself," she writes. The flame of light, life, and sun would bring new life. Couples who wanted to conceive would leap the Beltane fire. And I was taught that I should go out at dawn on Beltane and use the dew to wipe my face to maintain my beauty throughout the year, as well as for protection. And in lots of places in the UK, kids still go around to the houses in their village and bring posies or little packets of flowers to their neighbors to bless them for Beltane. So there's lots and lots of traditions and superstitions around this holiday. And it isn't all dancing and flowers and feasting and fertility. Beltane, or Beltane, if you want to use the Gaelic, it means fire of Bel, and Bel was a Celtic deity that I am not going to get into today. But to the ancient peoples of the British Isles, fire was central to this celebration of protection. 2 fires would be lit on a hill, and they'd drive the cattle and sheep through the smoke in order to ensure their good health and productivity. And it isn't just the human world that stirs at this time of year. The veils between worlds become thin, like it does at Samhain, but in a different way, and not a somber way. A little more enchanted and playful. The fairies are out in numbers, folks. So offerings might be left at the base of sacred trees like elder and rowan and hawthorn. And little pieces of cloth called clooties were tied to the branches as prayers and wishes. Some people wore protective charms or hung herbs in their doorway to keep unwelcome spirits away. All of this takes a lot of imagination, right? And imagining the natural world in ways that bring gods and goddesses and the earth itself in all its glory, from the smallest seed to the tallest tree, from the tiniest organism to the great blue whale, all of creation, and how and why we're here, that all comes to life in our minds. Magic is essentially combining imagination with intent in order to will things into being, manipulating the forces of energy to your desire. And that requires a connection with the land, with the seasons, with the elements and animals, and with each other in order to work. We learn how to connect through rituals, through song, and through story, of course. And in my Irish tradition, we literally have fairy tales. But tales like these have been told since time out of mind, since we started sitting around fires and telling each other stories to keep us warm at night or to make the road shorter. G.K. Chesterton said, "Fairy tales are more than true, not because they tell us that dragons exist, but because they tell us dragons can be beaten." They help us to use our imagination to figure out the world and understand what's right and wrong so we can grow and do better and find hope. In every culture, we tell stories of light overcoming darkness to get us through hard times. And we recycle that theme endlessly because we have to. We're made to. So it's no wonder that a story like Star Wars grabs our imagination. You see how I brought that around like that? And I am just old enough at 55 to be able to brag that I saw the original Star Wars in 1977 in the theaters with my dad. I know, that's pretty rad. George Lucas used every trick in the book to tell a captivating story. A princess in danger on the run, a tragic pauper who ventures out to save her life and finds a bunch of allies and overcomes tremendous odds to win an impossible battle. And it's set in the future, or we think, where there are so many races from different planets cooperating as allies to rebel against a huge evil empire. Sounds familiar. And now granted, the battle scenes still stand up as pretty cool, but what really won my imagination as a kid was this mysterious thing called the Force. All right, come on. How many of you, when you were a kid, were like, went home and tried it? I did. The Force is, well, it's this thing that connects everything in the universe, right? Like a web of energy. And some people, Jedis, can use their imagination and intent to manipulate the Force around them. Sound familiar from like 4 paragraphs ago? And though there are immense challenges, their ability to work together and trust in the Force gives them that new hope for a better world, right? This is the hero's journey story that we have beaten to death in this congregation, that will never stop being told. Only the characters change. It's the same story. Now, I like Star Wars well enough, though they lost me somewhere along the way. I am obviously a Trekker at heart. I will spare you my yearly rant on some isolated Trek-related topic, but suffice it to say that it's the same story of a future that's much brighter than ours, right? A future that has proven itself to be really helpful when imagining what we can become and how we can grow. The best-selling author, activist, and ritual singer-songwriter Adrienne Marie Brown, whom I love, She said, "Science fiction is simply a way to practice the future together. I suspect that what many of you are up to, practicing futures together, practicing justice together, living into new stories. It is our right and our responsibility to create a new world. What we pay attention to grows." So I'm thinking about how we grow what we are all imagining and creating into something large enough and solid enough that it becomes a tipping point. I love this idea of science fiction being a way to practice the future together, and that it's our right and responsibility to create a new world. But more than anything today, I am resonating with that statement that what we pay attention to grows. It is a simple and solid observation, my church. And it might actually be the simplest explanation of magic that I've ever heard. What we pay attention to grows. Think about that for a moment, the quintessential truth of it, and how many ways it might apply to our lives, for good and for bad, right? What do you need to pay attention to more in your life that might help you to grow? Do you need to refocus your attention on something different that you know will bring you more joy? I want you to take that home with you and work it around in your mind. Plant that seed in your mind this week. Give it some sun and some water and see what it generates. And maybe we can talk about it next week. So after church today, we are going to have a little short ritual in the yard, and we are going to dance the maypole. So while the ribbons wrap around and make a beautiful pattern, I want you to imagine and pay attention to what you want to bring into your life. What seeds do you want to see grow? And then as we unwind it, imagine what you want to let go of and release from your life. You can watch us do it, you can join in the dancing, or you can go over to our labyrinth, which is newly restored and beautiful, and weave your way to the center, asking yourself those same questions, and then walk out. You can tie a clootie in the tree outside to make a prayer or a wish to bring something into being. You can jump over a candle, because we do not have the liability for a bonfire or people jumping over one. So you can carry that flame inside you for dark times. You can blow bubbles with the kids, because kids are fun, and I think bubbles are prayers that we send out into the air, and kids' prayers are the best and most powerful. And while we're at it, imagine the force that weaves us all together and binds us in this interconnected web. Pay attention to the energy we raise today, and bring it with you when you leave to nurture it and grow it out in the world. So may springtime in all of its glory fire your mind, body, and spirit to new creation and new hope. May the seeds we plant be fertile, grow strong, and produce what we need. And may the force be with you. Amen, and so may it be, my friends. Oh, well, that's kind. And now, let us rise as you are willing and able, and let's sing together number 327. 327, Joy Thou Goddess. I love this on the organ. Closing words are from the great John O'Donohue. May your imagination know the grace of perfect danger, to reach beyond imitation and the wheel of repetition, deep into the call of all, the unfinished and unsolved, until the veil of the unknowable yields and something original begins to stir your senses and grow stronger in your heart. Hold fast, my church. We love you. Stay strong. Live long and prosper. Go in peace. Elbows up. All right, come on, let's go outside and have some fun. Members, please stay for the budget hearing.